You follow these guys, Enviado, on social media, you'll know they've already been at the dyno. They even went out to the track and did a little shakedown run. Before we talk about that, we're going to show you some electronics and some race gear. I saw Nam doing some wiring in his cave over there recently, and it looks like that's paid off in what is a full baller spec harness here.
Yeah, it's full mil spec connectors, everything like that. Got rid of, everything started from scratch.
Yeah.
So it's only the wires required for the ECU and the PMU.
It's all labeled nicely too?
Yeah,
so
everything's labeled.
Diagnose.
And there's joints so you can disconnect the whole thing from the firewall.
Beauty.
Or if you're just working on coil packs, there's a main coil pack connector, take that out and you can yank all that stuff
Yeah,
out.
you got one of those big fancy ALMS style connectors on the firewall there.
Yeah.
So clear this up for the internet and for me.
Okay.
Mil-spec and Raychem, well, what are those things?
Raychem's a brand.
Why do we care?
Well, Raychem's a brand. It's just like the best quality shrink tube. I'm sure somebody's going to say there's something better.
Of course
probably
there is. Yeah.
It's just they're high quality parts used exclusively in motorsports. And when you say mil-spec, that's just that large round connector. It's used in aviation primarily.
Okay.
And it's just very reliable.
Okay.
It resists vibrations and all that stuff.
Okay. And the wiring itself, it looks like it's very small gauge, but
yes,
probably very high quality.
It's just really small gauge wire, but high quality, so it has good conductivity.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have all that like giant bulk of wires.
Right.
Like that. This right here, that is all the wires to run the entire engine.
Yeah, it's tiny. When you think about an OEM harness, it goes through there like just a massive heavy wire.
Yeah.
And this is probably more flexible too, which is nice as far as routing it goes.
Yeah, it's all wired using a technique called concentric twist, where all the wires are twisted together.
Oh, cool.
And that allows you to take the whole harness and like bend it around without making anything break inside.
Wow. And obviously it runs to your ECU master, what is it called, an EMU Black?
Right.
And this is a relatively new product in North America. They've only been here a couple of years, right?
Yeah, PRI was the launch this year.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
That's where we saw them, right?
That's where we saw them, was at PRI. And the PMU, which is their power management unit, is, I'm pretty sure it's probably the first one being used.
Really?
Around here with
Wow.
a keypad configuration, yeah.
So tell me more about the ECU and the PMU.
Its size is incredible.
It is. The form factor
is so small.
Impressive.
And it works really well. I mean, we've had it on the dyno. We did that quick test day with it.
Yeah.
We did about 40 laps at TMP. And it worked flawless for us, which is obviously what we want.
What you're going for, yeah.
And the software was different from what we normally use.
Sure.
But once we used it for a little while, we figured it out and it was really good to use.
Yeah. And what's the advantage of the PMU? Like, why do people want that?
No relays, no fuses, no switches. Everything is solid state controlled in there. So you give that box 12 volts.
Yeah.
Program some math channels, tell those channels what
Where
to
they're
do.
going, yeah.
And then it distributes electricity.
Beautiful.
And if there's a fault, like say you have something that draws over current,
Yeah.
there's a set of lights on there. They're green if everything's good. Green is good. If you have a red fault, you'll see channel 16, something is drawn over current.
Okay.
You plug in the laptop and it'll tell you exactly what time, how much current it took, and then the reason for tripping.
Amazing. So that makes diagnosing a problem super easy.
100%. Yeah.
Huh. And the dash is it's an old AIM?
It's an old AIM. It's out of my old time attack
just
car.
What works, like you were saying, Riley doesn't look at it anyway.
Yeah,
so.
Riley just looking for warning lights, so shift lights and over temps or anything like that. The rest is just for us when we're testing the car, really.
I saw on your Facebook page that you were having some wheel spin issues on the dyno.
Yeah, just slightly.
Too much jam happening?
Yeah. Everything was working really well on the dyno until we started cranking the boost up, and when we went over 24 pounds, it just started spinning on the dyno. So we were making like 600 wheel and just spinning the tire from like 4,200 RPM to red line.
Wow.
So
did you have that problem with the old setup? Like, what's different on this car?
The big difference this year is actually the ECU.
Okay.
And the drive-by-wire.
Okay.
And the boot, like, the engine's running a lot better than it was.
It was.
in the
It is.
past.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know you made 600, but beyond that, you're not too sure what you were making.
No, I mean, we mapped it up to 27 pounds.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure 27 pounds, it's really close to 1,000 horsepower.
Wow.
Yeah.
1,000 horsepower.
The car is a lot faster. Driving at the track, like first time this year, it's just
Yeah.
like,
She hits hard.
yeah, it's different.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Looks like Envy's gone all Momo everything on the inside.
Yep.
Including this nice deep dish wheel. Do you know the model of this one?
Mod 8.
The Mod 8.
Yes.
Sounds like a band from the 80s. It's suede wrapped. Your theory is must be suede wrapped in a race car?
You gotta have the grip.
Yeah?
Yeah, you
With the
gotta
right
have the
gloves
grip.
on there. It gives you
Yep.
super gription. Got the quick release hub on here too. So it's nice. Momo seats inside. Head restraint style seat for the driver.
Yeah, it has to be for FD rules.
Okay.
You have to have head containment now for the driver only.
Okay. And you also have to have a passenger seat by FD rules too.
Yeah, you definitely do.
Maybe that's Momo calling right now to tell us what
Unknown
models.
call. We're not taking
Oh,
that
that's not
one.
Momo? Okay.
No.
Well, the Momo wants you to tell us what seats these are.
Well, this is the Lesmo 1,
Lesmo 1, okay.
and this is what you have in your Mustang.
Super Cup.
Super Cup, that's what it is.
And it is a super comfy seat. We like
Yeah.
them in our Mustang. This is for like joyriding. Why do they require a passenger
It's
seat?
just the rules. You got to have a passenger seat.
They want it to look more like a street car?
Yeah, it's got to look like a street car, and it's actually good for you're taking media out, right?
Right.
Or sponsors.
Yes.
Full safety.
Or Speed Academy.
Or Speed Academy.
Yeah.
You guys normally sit in that seat.
Well, I don't think you're going to let us do it in this car until the season's over.
To the end of the season.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's bolt these things in, throw a dash in there, and see what it looks like.
Okay.
Feels good sitting in a pro race car, not gonna lie. I like your boot, Dove. What's going on with this boot? It's like fire retardant material?
Yeah, it's a SFI fire retardant shift boot.
It looks like the suit material that the safety guys wear at like NASCAR weekends.
Yeah, it's a NASCAR part. That is designed for NASCAR.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
See, I know my NASCAR materials. Giant shift knob. Is this the same as before when we drove it?
Yeah, same shift knob, same shift arm.
It's in a much different position being in this chassis though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's up a lot higher. I like that though. It's like right here, grab that thing, which I won't touch for reasons we won't explain to you. This keypad is super dope. I think we teased you guys with this at the end of the last video. That's also a ECU master part.
Yep, that's from ECU Masters as well. It integrates with their PMU.
So, and you've got a couple of other things here. What's going on there?
Well, you gotta charge your cell phone, right?
Oh, that's right. Riley's got to have his tunes.
Yeah.
Where are the speakers?
And
Not so much?
And then the USB, that's for FD. They need a charge point for the Blackview camera.
So, we have power in this thing? We're
Yeah.
going to light this candle or what?
Vin, get the kill switch.
Kill switch,
Turn
yeah.
kill switch on.
What do I do? Clutch in?
No, you don't
Don't
touch
need
the
to touch
clutch.
clutch?
No.
All
Push
right.
the power button
Push
there.
that?
And then you
Ooh.
hear everything boot up.
This is a very satisfying feel to push that, Peter. It's
Yeah.
like, it feels like it's, like NASA spec.
Yeah.
All right, now what?
We're gonna start it.
Okay. How do I do that?
Push the engine button.
Engine button. This
Yeah,
one
yeah,
here.
there you go.
Just press it once?
Hold it. No, hold it.
Hold
like,
it.
Yeah.
So what do the rest of the buttons do here?
The main one that's lit there is that's the power button.
Yeah.
It's basically like turning your ignition on.
Yeah.
The engine picture is to start it. That's your start button.
Okay.
The hazard light is for your headlights.
Ooh, headlights. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, those are
They
working.
work. And
This guy here is your wipers, I assume?
yeah, that's the wipers.
Okay. This turbo snail deal, what's going on there?
Anti-lag. That's the fun button.
Anti-lag. Ooh, I like.
Yeah.
I'll have to test that outside.
Yeah.
ACC.
That's your air conditioning. It comes out over here.
That's not for the hockey rink in Toronto?
No.
Okay. And the snowflake, is that for white liberal kids?
No, it's so you can turn the electronic power steering on if we're just pushing around the pits.
Okay.
You just hit the button and then we get the pump running, which is nice.
Cool. And we've gone red here because your battery's dying?
Yeah, the batteries. It's warning right now. The
It's telling me
battery's
low
low.
voltage? Okay,
Yep.
so we'll shut that off.
Yep.
All right. It's time to roll this thing outside, I think.
Yeah, let's get it outside.
So Riley was saying his favorite button on the dash is that little anti-lag button.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that?
It really helps with boost response. So it changes the mapping and the ECU to basically create the explosion that normally happens in the cylinder, puts it into the exhaust manifold.
Okay.
So all that energy gets transferred to the turbo,
Okay.
which means basically off throttle you get between 0.7 and 1 bar.
And this helps keep the turbo spooled up so that when you do go back to throttle, it's ready to
Yeah,
go.
like the moment you touch the throttle, all of
Yeah.
a sudden you have essentially full boost.
You've got jam.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we go do a little demo of that out back? And now the moment we've all been waiting for, the celebratory burnout. That's a wrap on another episode on the 2JZ BRZ. Next up, we're wrapping this thing.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it, some testing.
By wrapping, we mean vinyl wrap, not wrapping up the episode.
No trap.
No. And we're gonna go testing on the racetrack.
Yep.
They're gonna test it, we're gonna watch. But before then, Pete, you might wanna pan over here and have a look at Twinsies. It's the sister car, also gonna be an NV car with a big turbo under the hood, but a different number of cylinders maybe? Some magic going on in there, we'll show you in a future episode. It's cold in here. Had to put on my Speed Academy hoodie, which you can conveniently get at speed-academy/myshopify.com.
Wow, would you look at that?
Only $35 US too. That's a bargain for a hoodie. And you too could look this good. I don't know if you're as lithe and as flexible as I am. I take really good care of myself. I do yoga, hot yoga, like 4 times a day. I'm just gonna slide into this race car like a pro. See if you can do this as well as I can. I'm graceful, aren't I? I'm like a gazelle. I'm like a supermodel gazelle. So I'm in here.
Wow, it's a miracle you actually fit.
I do fit.